So government fees are unavoidable. So no matter who you book with, those fees, like Stephanie mentioned, the 9/11 security fund, the UK passenger duty fee, the Egypt tourist entry fee that's built into your air ticket, those aren't negotiable. So those get paid no matter what. So you'll always see a little bit. So even with the quote unquote good programs, you'll see $47, $50, whatever on a ticket. And so those are going to be government ones that they're required to charge. So for example, booking BA through AA still has high surcharges and fees because BA is charging those to AA and they pass them on to you. Now, if you book an AA operated flight, which means you're using American Airlines to book an American Airlines flight, you'll have no surcharges and only small government fees because you're paying the fees that are attributed to AA at that point, not BA. So obviously the US and UK have very different tax and fee structures for airlines.
How to avoid them.
Now the chat is blowing up here.
Yeah, you did need to understand them because people will confuse government fees with fuel surcharges all the time. So it's very important to kind of break all that down first. Okay, avoiding cities with high government taxes and fees. So this is one way, is just to avoid those cities, right? And it could be whole countries too that impose high government taxes and are paired with an airline that hubs there that likes to add surcharges. Because remember, the surcharges aren't done by the government, those are added by the airline. But if you have already a government fee that's high and an airline hub with an airline that likes to have fuel surcharges, then you get this like exponentially higher price. And that's what London does, right? And it's really all of the UK. It's not just London, but you have like high government fees in the UK. And then you have British Airways that loves to charge fuel surcharges. Virgin does as well because they're like, well, if our competitor BA can do it, we might as well do it too. So they both are like pretty comparable with their fees. And that is how you end up with those high costs to go through London. So you could just not fly through London, right? If you're trying to get to Europe, you could just avoid British Airways and Virgin Metal booked through their own programs, or you can just pick a different route, right? It seems easy. It does. The one downside of just picking a different route is then you are limiting yourself to fewer award space options, fewer airlines, fewer cities, fewer programs, but it is one tactic.
I've done that with flying to, well, here it is, Paris, because you can take the train from Paris to London and it's like in business class, it's like $70. So that's certainly a lot less than $700, $800. So sometimes, instead of going directly to London, you stop in Paris. And then while you're there, you might as well make a day of it. But even if you didn't want to, you can easily just take that train over and save yourself $600, $700 by just flying to a slightly different airport. Now, obviously, maybe you don't want to do that. You want to go to London, but
they are on this list for having high taxes too, but they're not as high as London.
Yeah, these are cities with high government taxes and fees versus like the fuel surcharge. Well, so like higher long haul departure taxes from Paris, especially in business class. That's a big thing. And part of it's driven by European regulators, in some of their kind of green programs starting to say, well, someone flying in business or first, there's a larger carbon footprint because there's less of you on the plane. So you'll notice the premium cabins pay a lot more in fees than say premium economy or economy. Amsterdam's been increasing the passenger taxes in recent years as well. They're both SkyTeam. They're both kind of in the same, in terms of airlines, they're in the same alliance, but both those cities have definitely been increasing things the last couple of years. And certainly the last month or so, we've seen that go up even more.
Yeah, they added a significant fuel surcharge this month. And I don't know if it's temporary. I'm assuming it's temporary, but we don't know. No one knows.
I always hate the word temporary with surcharges and government imposed fees and anything like that, because this could derail into a whole different topic. But let's just say it's good to have strategies to avoid those.
Yeah, because we've seen it with other things, during other times of crisis in the world where prices went up because of crisis, but then they never came back down. Happened with groceries. So it could happen here too. That's why I don't want us to count on it being temporary. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that so much better than I was about to. I appreciate you.
I know I could go on a rant about that too, but not here. So Dubai is another, we talked about them too. Not as extreme as London with the government taxes and fees, but Emirates, which is the airline that hubs in Dubai, is definitely big on adding fuel surcharges that are very high. So often paired with high surcharges, and that increase your total out-of-pocket costs. You could just avoid them by going to a nearby city.
So avoiding cities with high government taxes and fees. So the the other dynamic duo besides me and Steph, the dynamic duo of taxes and fees. So avoiding cities with high government taxes and fees. So note, this does take Air France, Virgin Atlantic, and BA off the table. And those are obviously three very large airlines in Europe. So you have to consider that too. So a lot of times you have to weigh your options, but these are key players in the points and miles game. So best to not avoid them entirely. So maybe just move lower on your list of options or book via a partner airline. I always, in the lounge program, we have checkpoints, and I always teach in one of our checkpoints about the power of shopping around, saying you found a redemption here, go look at their partners. And you'll see some charge less taxes, more points, less points, more taxes. So oftentimes there's a way to avoid this by going to a different partner. So some ideas here too: fly to Paris instead of London. I brought that up, and take the train. Fly to Dublin, take a small flight, because if you look at Dublin, the taxes and fees are far less than London, and that's really not a far flight at all. And then like Stephanie was just saying with Dubai, fly to Doha or Abu Dhabi, and then you can take the hour-and-a-half flight to Dubai, which is not going to incur the same fees as taking a flight from LA to Dubai or something. So picking which cities you go to and coming up with some alternate strategies like this can certainly help you avoid those. So you're getting the most bang for your buck with your points, and you're not outlaying a ton of cash on fees.